Hi guys, welcome to Gaming Unleashed and to the next episode of Need for Speed Underground 2. Let's quickly look at the map. So we've got two drag races and we've got two URLs in the city center. So my plan is let's do the URLs first and then let's do the drag races in Cole Harbor, and we've got one drag race in the airport. So we'll come back to, now we'll go to the city center, then we'll come back to the Cole Harbor, then go to the airport, and we'll finish off with the airport URLs. So my guess is when I'm done with the airport URLs, the final URL to finish the stage should pop up on the city center, as far as I remember. So then we go back to the city center, finish that stage, and voila, the stage number 4 should open up for us. Now the stage number 4 is Cole Harbor West. That's going to open up, and I think that is the last stage as far as I know. I don't know if there's going to, once we finish all the races and the URLs, if there's going to be a next stage, like a full stage. No, I'm not really sure. I think this is the last but one stage, so when I unlock this, next should be the last stage. But anyways, you know what? We will lock it in when we get there, right? So right now, what I'm telling you is based on my guesses. Okay, so we are close to the URL. We'll do the one on the right, the second right actually. So I'm not expecting any funny stuff in these URLs, but I don't know. It's been so long since I've played it last. Okay, there is the URL. Alright, let me get in line. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, Corey. 5,000. That's good. We're gonna get a lot of money for this. That's a small URL. I think it's our story.
The Wraiths have been putting it down out there, doing anything it takes to win. Check it out. Their boss, Caleb, has been working backroom deals trying to take control.
Caleb. There we go.
Sponsors do everything through me, and I stand to lose big time. But you stand to lose even more. If he wins, he'll change everything. With the history the two of you have, you can forget about racing anywhere in Bayview ever again. But if you keep winning and scoring all them sponsors, he won't have anyone to turn to. They'll kick him to the curb. Just remember, you have to keep winning.
Alright, I have to keep winning. Shouldn't be hard. But now I feel it's probably going to be hard, isn't it? I'm guessing these, one of his gang members are going to come and, knock me off my track and try to push me, subdue me somehow, and let me not win, right? I guess that's how it's going to be. But I've got to try my best anyway. Great. Oh, look at this guy. Is this the gang member? Well, I shouldn't be bothered, because I know I can win URLs. Winning URLs was never a trouble. I don't remember honestly losing URLs. I mean, not losing the URL in the sense I might have lost a race, like I may have come second or third, but I've always won the series of URL. So I don't know how many races are there in this URL. My guess is because we had a story, it will be probably 2. So with this URL finished, we will go to the next URL. Hopefully even that will be just 2 races. I know there will be 3 races, but I think that's in the next stage. But anyway, let's find out, right? Let's find out. So we've got 4 laps here, and the next race probably will be 3 or 4 laps again. And probably it will be a reverse of this one, or could be a different circuit. Mostly it will be reverse, like how we've seen in the previous races. And in the next URL, and airport URLs are going to be a bit tough, I guess. But anyway, let's figure out it when we get there. So tell me, guys, what's happening with you? I hope all is well and good with you guys. The most important stuff I need to mention in my every episode henceforth is, if you're finding a button which is called subscribe, which should be just below this video. And if it's in red in color, it's bad. It's bad for you and me, right? So click on it, turn it gray, and you have a bell icon. That's an optional. The bell icon will help you to get notified every time my video gets updated or gets uploaded or becomes live for viewing. So be the first one to check out my videos and leave some comments. Please give me thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever that is. I'm open for feedback, so let me know, guys. Let the comments keep the comments coming, and let me improve my gaming. So on the last episode, I've spoken about PC Magazine, how to improve your laptop or your gaming performance. Now I've got some feedback from my friends and some of my people who are regular viewers. I mean, obviously these are my friends, and I keep getting feedback from them to improve my game, improve my commentary. And what they've told me was that what I said in the previous episodes was very quick, and that I need to elaborate a bit. It's not that, because most of you wouldn't understand, most of the gamers would understand, but for the non-gamers or people who are just getting into gaming or are not tech savvy, so what do they do, right? I mean, we've got to tell them a bit more. So I've been asked to, or let's say I've been requested to elaborate a bit on every point, some stuff, some tips and some points that I can tell them. So here we go. I'll tell you guys what I know. That shouldn't be trouble. So according to PC Magazine, the first point is, when we are playing the game, always make sure that the PC is optimized to play games. Basically what that means is, go to your right click on your desktop, go to your taskmasters. I don't know how about Apple's. I've never used Apple. Let's say I'm not a fan of Apple, so I don't know what Apple guys would see, how they close their processes. But for Windows, you right click on your desktop and you go into the taskmaster. This is applicable to all form of Windows. Okay, so go into your taskmaster, look at the processes, and if you understand, just go by the name. If you don't understand a certain process by its name, just Google it, and when you Google it, you'll come to know what the process is exactly. All right, so we're finishing the 4th lap. Awesome. Okay, winner. Let's see. Okay, that if I see points, it means there should be another race. Okay, I'm ready for the second race, no problem. So as I was saying, make sure you're clicking on the task manager and start clearing your processes. Google your processes if you don't understand what they are, and see if they're really necessary. Now basically, some of the tips that I would like to give you is, when you see the processes, there's obviously Adobe update process, which probably don't require, you can kill it right away just by right clicking on it and end task or kill process or whatever that is, the option you're going to get, right? And then keep going through the whole processes, and you'll find like Windows running, which is probably essential. It'll be grouped by system, so whatever the process for systems are, don't touch it, let them run. But whatever softwares you identify, like probably you might have your phone application, Apple application, you might have an editing application, DVD burning application, just close these processes, because you don't need them running at your background. What happens is, the more of these processes, unrelated, unwanted processes run, the lesser the power would be. What happens is, your force of CPU distribution gets distributed, right? That's why it's called CPU distribution. So the game will be prioritized, but obviously the PC would be still supporting the other unwanted processes. So it's rather good to clear out the unwanted processes. The second point is, and the most important point, every Windows 10 PC comes with the auto gaming button. So what do I mean by this? So there's something called a gaming feature in every Windows 10 PC. Now by default this is on, But for some reason, maybe it's a shared computer, maybe you'd given it for service or requested somebody to look into your PC, make it faster, and that person might have turned it off. So you gotta turn this back on, or just make sure it is on, right? So how do we do it? Just go into your search and type game settings. Open up the game settings and you would see a button which you can toggle on and off. As simple as that, just click on or off, Make sure it's on. The third point is your graphics driver. Now this is a big one. Now most of us, what happens is, because we don't update our Windows, or probably we don't prefer doing Windows update, or whatever the reason might be, your graphic card doesn't always get updated at the same time. So it's better to go into your PC settings, go to your hardware, see what your graphic card settings are, and go to your graphic card software version. Just Google it and you'd find that official website. It would be probably Nvidia or Dawn or whatever that is. Just go into them, download the latest driver, the software which you have to install it, and voila, you purely see performance upgrade. What happens is, every time there's a new game, these companies release a update or release a version of software which enhances the game's graphics. Now this is definitely necessary, definitely 100% necessary. Now for me, Underground 2, will it make a difference? Well, slightly will make a difference. But for the latest games, like all the latest games, it will make a big difference. What I've realized is, after I've upgraded my graphic card, most of my processes, most of my softwares are running smooth. Previously I would get stuck, if you've seen my initial episodes, my game would pixelate a bit, it would lag a bit. So all this stuff is not happening now. It's pretty smooth for me. Even the videos and movies, when I watch it on my laptop, for some reason the graphics are better. I used to prefer watching on my phone. I didn't know why, but now I understand. I never updated my my software, my driver, my graphic driver. Now I have, and I'm really impressed. Okay, so we are heading towards the finish line. A big lead, not a big lead, but that should be alright to get me a few reputation points. Even if it's 0, I don't mind. So that's 8 points. The Hyundai was right behind us. That's good. Focus, Golf, and Supra. Supra is 4th. Okay, there we go. 300 reputation points, 5,000 bucks. That's good. That's good. Okay, so we have a second URL nearby. So we'll just go ahead, complete it. There we go. We have it right here. I can point it on my map. Oh, there's some money. Money. There we go. I'm surprised I never found that before. I passed through here so many times. Oh, more money. That's nice. Must be my lucky day. Accept. Cool. Okay, so let's see what kind of URLs we're talking about here. Looks very similar, isn't it? Looks very similar. I'm guessing it's probably gonna be 4 laps. Yeah, I'm right. 4 laps, 6 cars. I'm starting at the last position. Good, I've gained 4th. Back in 6th. Gained 4th again. Here the trick is, we've got to brake at the right spot. That's all the trick for Underground 2. And make sure your car is upgraded, that's it. That's all we need to make sure. But as we progress towards the next games, it's gonna get harder. Ultimately, it's gonna all boil down to upgrading the car and using the right car for the right race. Anyways, I'm very excited for Most Wanted. I know I keep talking about Most Wanted, but just can't wait to start the game. I'm so excited, especially for the cars that I'm gonna get to drive. Also, I was thinking, guys, I'm going to be starting to prepare special episodes of upgrading each car and modifying according to what I feel is nice, and not what everybody else is doing on YouTube. I've seen a lot of channels that show upgrading the car to in a right way. I'm not sure there is a right way in Need for Speed Underground 2. The only right way is to probably color your car and get the right get the right vinyl. That's it. But I mean, here we're talking about art, right? When you're talking about the color and coloring your car. So I mean, art is, I don't know, it's open, it's free, it's creative, isn't it? So how can somebody say this is the right way to build a car? No, you can't. But anyway, we'll try building up the car with different parts and all that stuff. The performance is going to be the same, isn't it? You go from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 performance parts, and if there's extreme performance kit, just put it on. That's it. I mean, how hard can it be? I mean, this is a very simple race. It's so outdated for this date. This is a 2004 game which I'm playing in 2021. It's very much outdated, so it's just a matter of entertainment and having fun. It's no competitiveness or not really tips on how to improve anything. Because we are talking about NFS 2021 now, isn't it? How many of us are really playing these old games? Only a handful of us, right? Only a very few of us. Yeah. By the way, that reminds me, we are already in 16 minutes, and usually this is where I plan to close my episode, but looks like this one is going to be a long one, because I kind of get this feeling that there is going to be a second race. I have not read that in the manual or in the race briefing that came up, but my guess is this is definitely going to be a 2-race URL. Anyway, we are heading towards the finish line, and looks like somebody is right behind me. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I've talked about this a lot in my last episode. This is so disturbing when you're almost about to cross the finish line and somebody just starts, kissing your ass right there. You see? I mean, did you see the gap that I have with me and this guy? And in the beginning of the race and at the end of the race, the whole bunch of other guys are way back, and this one car makes its way towards me. That's so unfair. So another Eclipse next to me. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, people can design the car the way they want. Look at that Eclipse. I mean, compare him to me. I mean, we could have done so many things, and our cars would have looked still good, isn't it? And then I'm seeing some episodes of people building up cars like the Need for Speed, Paul Walker and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's fun, that's good. But I don't want to copy that. I don't want to do that. Probably, like I mentioned in one of my previous episodes, we will look into cars which were there in Need for Speed. Was that Fast and Furious? We'll look into the cars that were in the Fast and Furious, and let's try to develop some of the cars if they are here. Try to get as close as possible. I'll put a picture up and and try to build according to it. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be good. That'll be a good special episode. So, talking about PC Magazine, let me see what is the next point. So yeah, the next point is they're saying wire your computer up to the internet rather than using it on Wi-Fi. But I think this point, honestly, depends on country to country. Now, the first world countries probably, if you're not sharing your internet connection with anybody, you're just at your home, yourself gaming, and nobody else in your family is at home or is not using the internet, then I think you're okay to, use your Wi-Fi. But let's say, you've got a lot of people in your house, you're sharing your Wi-Fi with your neighbors or whatever that is, or one building or one floor Wi-Fi in a hostel or in a dorm has been used by, let's say, 10 people, then you're better off getting an Ethernet cable, right? It's better to plug in the cable into your PC and directly through the router, so that there is no interference and you're getting this pure internet from the router directly to your PC. This way, your internet connections will not be hammered. But you don't always need this, right? Like when I'm playing this, I don't need an internet connection. I mean, I'm playing offline. Only if it's required only if it's a multiplayer. So if I decide to go, online and play multiplayer, then yes. But otherwise I would probably not require the internet at all. So next point and is here is adjust your mouse setting. Now I think this is obvious. I don't have to tell you guys. But how do you adjust your mouse settings? Just go into settings in the game and see what kind of settings you wanna override from your Windows settings. So this should be probably easy. But then there are various options in mouse settings which really I can't really talk about it. But it depends game to game. The most common thing is the mouse sensitivity. Just make sure you start moving the sensitivity to a different number and start seeing what is your sensitivity. Now this differs from game to game, producer to producer. Like EA games probably would have same kind of mouse settings throughout all of the games. But if you're playing a game from Activision or somebody else, then it'll probably change. So you gotta keep an open mind when you're gonna be moving your mouse sensitivity. Next is the display option. Now this is I think I need to speak about this, and this is important. When we say display option, not many people understand what I'm talking about or what they are talking about. But PC magazines have actually talked about it in a good way, and they've put a lot of information in it. So what I'll do is I will put a link to that article down here so that you can go through it. So basically display settings means you'll have to take care of your display, make sure it's been optimized and it's been set up to show the graphics the way it is, especially the pixelation of your screens, the screen resolution. Make sure the screen settings within the buttons on the screen, it's set to the full. Okay, so that's it guys. There is no more points, and we are heading towards the finish line. And when I hit there, I think it's time to call this an episode. Winner. Cool. So let's look at the points. I'm leading both races. I should have 16 points. Awesome. 5,000, that is cool. Alright guys, take care. Cheers. Bye.